So that will bring us to our top 5 of the week, which is the most respectful moments in the UFC. Jess, you can go first. What do you got for us?
All right. On number 5, I have Holm versus Rousey. Now, this was a really heated media tour, and there was a lot of really tense moments. And afterwards, I really appreciated how Holm really stuck to being respectful, and no matter what Rousey did to try and get into her mind and take her out of her game, she remained humble and focused and just very gracious in her victory. The next one, I have Cormier and Gustafsson. Gustafsson really embodies just what it is to be a gentleman. I've had a few interactions with him, and I just thought he was just very gentle in his ways, and there was a lot of build-up after that fight. And there was a moment afterwards where he lifts up Cormier and just in appreciation of the fight, and I thought that was just very gentlemanly and very respectful in his loss. Number 3, I have Bisping and Silva, another really heated media tour, and I thought it was really respectful how Bisping at the end, goes to Silva and just really shows his appreciation and respect. Number 2, Cerrone and Henderson. These guys have fought each other. They are friends, and they were so respectful and friendly in the build-up, during, after the fight, and I thought it was really great to watch. And number 1, I have Machida and Munoz. This one really hit home to me because Munoz is a close friend of mine, a mentor, and my former coach. And Machida really just embodies what it is to be respectful and a gracious fighter. And he pulled his punch with Munoz. He knew he was out. He knew he had ended the fight. And he checked on him afterwards. He wanted to make sure he was okay. They are friends, training partners, and it was just so respectful. And I really appreciated that display of martial arts at its finest.
Absolutely. I think that number 1, I mean, we all remember that. You wish there was more moments like that where sometimes they'd just maybe not go for that last hit when they're knocked out. All right. Kenny?
Yeah, I thought that was a very good list. Very good. I respect your respectful list, Jess. It was very good.
And I respect you for respecting my list.
Okay, now you're more respectful than me. Jeez, she's even going to have a better list here.
All right, what do you got, Kenny?
Let's check out my list here. This was kind of surprising to me. I saw these fights the other day, and I saw that Nick Diaz was so respectful towards Anderson Silva. And obviously, Nick, if you think about Nick Diaz, a lot of people go, oh, well, he's, he talks a lot of trash, he swears a lot. He was super respectful to Anderson Silva. He didn't get the win. He picked him up. He was so gracious towards Anderson. I thought that was a really great gesture there from Nick Diaz, one of my favorite fighters. All right, number 4, Conor McGregor against Chad Mendes. This is another surprising one. These guys, obviously, we know the kind of trash that Conor McGregor talks. These guys were very heated. They did not like each other at all. But then, after the fight, these guys were so nice to each other. Everything is erased. No big deal. We're best friends now. They hugged for like 10 minutes. And it just showed, how much respect they had for each other. They sweat together. They bled together. And they were like almost BFFs here after that fight. All right, and number 3, Jones and Alexander Gustafsson. I thought not only was this one of the greatest title fights and one of the greatest fights in UFC history, again, I got to agree, Jess, that Alexander Gustafsson really is a gentleman, a true gentleman warrior. John Jones showed a lot of respect to Gustafsson as well. What a fight, and just genuine respect from both those men. There they are, bowing like true martial artists. Now, number 2, I had this on my list as well. How can you not have this on the list? Lyoto Machida against Mark Munoz. He knocked him out with 1 kick, and immediately he stopped. A lot of fighters would get too emotional and want to finish the job and make sure that they did their job. Not the case. First of all, great stoppage by the referee, but there's a lot of other fighters that would have thrown another blow or two there. So great stuff from a true martial artist, Lyoto Machida. Number 1, Robbie Lawler, Carlos Condit. Now, this is another one of these fights where if you're in a fight like this, an epic fight where you just took so many shots and you threw so many, a lot of people aren't going to be cool after the fight. And both of these guys, and especially given that this fight was so close as far as decisions go, and they gave it to Robbie Lawler, you know what? I'm not sure I would have showed that same class that Carlos Condit showed, because it was a fight that really could have gone either way. And Carlos Condit, immediately, he was disappointed, but the first thing he did, he turned to Robbie Lawler, he congratulated him, he hugged it out, just very, very impressed with that.
Very impressed.
Yeah.
I respect both of your lists. Those were good lists.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. All right. Well, we want to thank a fan real quick because, you know, we ask you guys to get involved in our top fives. And this week, the idea came from Nico.
Nico, we respect you, buddy.
We respect you as well.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, you guys keep them coming. Follow us at UFC_now. Send them to us. Hashtag UFC Now. All right. We're going to take a break, but coming up next is our social media segment, Rapid Fire. That's another way that you guys get to get involved with us. You guys send us your questions. See if they get answered next. We'll be right back.